Now let's get to our first guest, Georgia Congressman Buddy Carter. He sits on the House Budget Committee and Energy and Commerce Committee. Congressman, it's great to see you, sir. The collapse of cryptocurrency exchange FTX has revealed that nearly $40 million were donated, 99.6% of it to Democrats' campaigns. New reporting, though, also revealing that the GOP leadership also benefited from FTX donations. Guys like Mitch McConnell. Other outlets out there are reporting that allies of McCarthy used the money to target conservative GOP congressmen, though we've not independently verified those reports yet, Congressman. But if true, the leaders of your party are getting funding from individuals who support an anti-American left-wing agenda. Are you at all concerned over your party's leadership, sir?
Well, first of all, I feel like we should have a full investigation of FTX. There's no question about that. We need to understand what happened, if there was any illegal activity here. Certainly, I know that there are certain leaders in our party who have volunteered to send the money back if that's what it takes, and certainly I applaud them for that. But more importantly, we need to make sure that these emerging technologies, that we've got safeguards in place that are going to protect people from scams. And it appears, don't know for certain, but it does appear that this was nothing more than a Ponzi scheme, to be quite honest with you. So this is the kind of thing that we need a full investigation in what happened with FTX, and we need to try to make sure this never happens again.
Former President Trump, his third bid for the White House, is being slammed by ineffective Republicans like Paul Ryan. Watch.
It's pretty clear is with Trump we lose. So I don't mean this personally. It's just evidence. We lost the House in 18, we lost the presidency in 20, we lost the Senate in 20, and now in 2022, we should have and could have won the Senate. I am a never again Trumper. Why? Because I want to win.
Congressman, your Senate minority leader was backing other Republicans who were supporting and voting for Democrats. That was the message Mitch McConnell was putting out in the election. Yet Paul Ryan seems to think that it's normal to elect Republicans who support Democrats and would have that somehow has no impact on the midterms. Yet a guy who isn't even in office, Donald Trump, is to blame. Who do you think has the better argument here?
Well, certainly, I can't, in my right mind, support someone who's going to be supporting these Republicans who are supporting other Democratic candidates. I think that was absolutely wrong. Liz Cheney of Adam Kinzinger, and I'm not going to be supporting them. And in fact, I was one of those who favored expelling them from the Republican Party after all that we've been through with them here in the past few months. But at the same time, look, we've got to unite. We've got to unite as a party, and we've got to end this infighting, and we've got to come together. We are right on policy. That's the key here. We are right on policy, and that's what we need to keep in mind. We don't need this infighting. We don't need to be our own worst enemy. We need to come together. The American people need us because they need our policies.
Well, no, you know what? They need conservative policies. However, Congressman, I don't see that conservative policies, constitutional conservatism is at all the priority of your leadership. And frankly, your leadership doesn't talk to us, doesn't talk to the conservative movement. They are making quick enemies out of the conservative movement and befriending, as we've articulated, befriending Democrats. I just don't think it's a winning policy for the Republican Party to be backing Democrats. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just a crazy conservative out here, Congressman, who doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. McCarthy is vowing to remove Democrat members from congressional committees once he becomes Speaker. He plans to remove, Swalwell from the House Intelligence Committee over his relationship with a Chinese spy and promotion of the dossier, that bit of propaganda. Ilhan Omar is going to be removed from Foreign Affairs Committee because of her anti-Semitism, her Jew hatred. And Adam Schiff will be removed from the Intel Committee over his repeated lies to the American public, including his claims he had proof of Russia-Trump collusion, which we all know now was a big hoax. You know, I'll believe it when I see it, Congressman. I've been exceedingly hard on the GOP because of what they've allowed to happen to our country at the hands of Democrats these last 2 years. But if McCarthy fulfills these promises, should I and other conservatives give the presumptive Speaker of the House the benefit of the doubt?
Absolutely. Look, I'm in full support of Kevin McCarthy being our next speaker. And he has indicated, and I applaud him for this, that he will remove these 3 people from committees, as they should be. Anyone who jeopardizes national security, anyone who makes the kind of anti-Semitic comments that Omar has made, they should be removed from committees. But you know what's interesting to me is that whenever the Democrats remove Republicans from committees, they refer to it as protecting democracy. But whenever the Republicans talk about removing the Democrats, then all of a sudden it's fear-mongering. Then all of a sudden it's, it's all these bad chaos and all these other things. It's just ridiculous. This is the right thing to do, and Kevin McCarthy has committed that he's going to do this. I applaud him for that, and I hope he follows through on that, and I expect for him to follow through on that.
Me too. I hope he does follow through that, because that means that maybe this government is looking to apply equal standards. If it's good enough to happen to Republicans, whether they be in the presidency or they be in Congress, then it's good enough for the same standards to be applied to Democrats. However, as you know, Congressman, Democrats don't like living under the same rules they impose on everybody else. Sir, I appreciate your visit as always. Come back soon.
Thank you.
Coming